This is probably going to be another piece of content that's going to upset some people that might agree with me on some issues, but it's how I feel. I understand that there are alternative ways of educating a child. I get that. And not every child should be educated in a classroom, in a structured system. I get that. And there are benefits to alternative methods of educating a child, especially when you're talking about communal neighborhoods coming together communally to educate in alternative ways while still teaching the basic educational fundamentals and integrating cultural understanding and heritage and preservation within their education. But I'm going to agree with the second woman in this video that this is not good.
So we don't teach our children anything. But this is his book. Look at this. Lamp, egg, jar.
Her child is 6 years old. This is called child neglect and child abuse. Because what do you mean your 6-year-old is teaching himself how to write 3-letter words, not writing them properly, not good penmanship, not forming the letters correctly, could have a learning disability, but you're impressed that at 6 years old, he can write 3-letter words, kind of. What do you mean you're not teaching them anything? At 3 years old, that might be an impressive little book. Not at 6. My kids were 3 years old speaking 3 languages. What are you doing to this child?
I mean, she has a hell of a point there. 6 years old, and they can barely get egg and jar onto a piece of paper properly. That's not proper education. That's also not, I would imagine, proper diagnosis or evaluation of their abilities and skills. That something is that no, that child is going to be it. Let's assume that the child has a learning disability first and foremost. You need to address that. You need to figure out what that is. You need to have that diagnosed and figure out how to move forward. Now, obviously, we're operating under the assumption that she doesn't, because if you go and you watch her content, it doesn't appear to be that way. And if your child doesn't have a learning disability of some kind, and you are impressed that at 6 years old they can write egg and jar kind of on a piece of paper, then what you are doing is putting that child so far behind that they are going to be ill prepared for the world that you are going to throw them out into. Unless you're planning on keeping them in your house forever and ever, amen, but chances are they're going to outlive you, and then what do the rest of us do with them? No, that is not a good alternative way of educating a child. I know several people that, or have known several people that homeschool, and while I don't necessarily agree with homeschooling all the way, there are several people that follow the curriculum, add and enhance to it as they need to, but the kids are getting educated. And there are alternative schools where the kids are still getting an education, but through an alternative way, but they're still getting the education. Your kid is just behind. And it might be a learning disability. Your content doesn't suggest that. So it just suggests, like, to us that you're just letting your kid run around educating themselves, and life isn't an episode or a remake of the Adam Sandler movie Big Daddy. You gotta, you don't gotta do anything. It's me ranting, saying that that's fucked up because I believe that that's fucked up. You do what you want to do. Just don't expect society to pick up where you fell off when this whole thing goes sideways.